And we are live.
Mm.
Y'all do the most.
I swear.
Shit.
The absolute most. Let's go. Welcome to Tangy Tea of Life. I am your host, Veronica. Back with you tonight, Tangy Tea of Life. I'm tagging you good folks. Tangy Tea of Life is being brought to you by Hip Hop Fitness with Veronica. Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Big Area Gym in Darlington. Monday nights, Pine Recreation Center with my seniors. It's moving Mondays. We get it in. What's going on, Victor? Damn it, boy, White.
Oh, I'm fine. How you doing? How y'all doing?
I can't stand y'all. Oh, Brother Fatine, all the way from WBLS radio station. The things we talk about behind stage is crazy.
We wrote a song about it. You want to hear it? Here how it go. No. Veronica eyes went. Yeah, and I brought back from New York City. So if I cough or sniff, the first time I got bitten by the COVID bug. So, hey, so far so good. Not too sick. So I just keep on praying that it doesn't get worse, and we'll keep it moving.
Praying that you would feel better.
Thank you.
Hopefully it'll
Appreciate
be,
it.
hopefully it'll do you a little light, like a little light cold, but
Yeah.
you'll be fine.
So we all three have had it, huh?
Yes.
Well,
I
they say
believe
you
I
ain't even supposed to quarantine no more. So
No, they do
really.
say. They do say that.
Well, don't get around me if you have it.
I don't care.
You never did.
I never did.
So, I mean, hey, Miss Dorothea, Miss Doretha, I meant Patricia. Hey, Sly. Oh, Sly is watching tonight. Hi, Sly. Well, welcome back. Mm-hmm. Hope you all are doing good on this Tuesday. So, how was your weekend? Let's talk about that for a second. I can start. My weekend was fabulous. I had a great weekend. First, it was the Carolinas Gospel Fest that went down Friday night at the SIMT building with Dedrick Haddon, Javante Patton, and so many others. Gosh, I didn't mean to start naming because I know I'm going to fit it. Major was there. It was so many great artists at the event Friday night, and I had an amazing time. It was awesome. And then Saturday night, it was Pink It Out with some more fitness instructors. We we I was invited to this event, and I just had a great time. It was for a great cause. It was for breast cancer. We all had on pink, and we was just getting it in. So that was I had a fabulous weekend. I've been tired. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little tired, but I had an amazing weekend. What about y'all?
Wednesday I did the Purple Table Talk with the people
Corona.
from the PD Coalition. That was cool. Got a chance to meet some good people. And then Friday, I went to the gospel concert with Veronica and got a chance to broaden my horizons. Um, I must say, I did not know that many famous people was there. I really honestly didn't know. Shots out to Trey for putting together that thing, that entire uh, concert. To be honest with you, that's my first professional concert I've ever been to.
Really?
Yeah, I sat front row. Veronica gave me a shout out, and then Veronica told everybody in the gospel concert to tune into the Tangy T, and I was like, that might not have been the best move. But after that,
Yeah.
I went to Hartsville and celebrated their homecoming festivities all weekend. I did a responsible thing and got a room down there, and it was cool, man.
Yeah, man. It was an awesome weekend. You see, every day got quiet, but I was like, yeah, check us out, Tangy T of Life. Crickets.
I was like, wow, no.
Wrong place, wrong time. Hey, Mr. Sammy. Hey, Thomas. Hey, Miss Rosa. Hey, Tim. Fatih, how was your weekend?
Well, I just want to say that I had to go up to New York City and did a wake and a funeral service, homegoing service for gospel artist, winning gospel artist, Keith Wonderboy Johnson, and shout out to gospel musicians, Paul Porter. He brought the house down. And also June, she's a gospel artist and promoter, gospel artist June Rogers Eiley. She did a great job, and it was an upliftment of Keith. It's sad that the young brother at 50 years old passed, but he's done a lot in his 50 years, and it was about celebrating what he's done, and he left a legacy of music here. So we don't cry for the loss, but we uplift his life and what he's left here, and his two daughters can continue that legacy. So shout out to all of those that came up there to pay tribute.
Hey, Veronica, who was the lady with he was sitting in the middle of the stage, front row, with that Gucci pearl belt on?
I am actually wearing her. She gave me this. Lucinda Moore.
I'm gonna say this: if Lucinda Ass would have sat next to me, I would end up with that Gucci belt. She looked good for her age. I give her that.
Yeah.
I give her that. That woman,
No, go ahead.
She was she did a thing. I didn't realize she was that old, but she did a thing.
She looks great. She can sing her tail off. Powerful voice. Yes, Lucinda Moore.
And she can dress.
Yes. She's all about looking good.
Should have gave me a shirt.
Even though I wasn't at the gospel concert, and thanks to Trey and yourself, Veronica, for providing, for us to be there. Where I was, but thank you for that. To both of you. I mean, you're in that arena, Veronica, and Victor, you do go to church time to time, or you do go to church. But my question is, do you feel rejuvenated when you attend something like that, a gospel concert with the music, and do you feel rejuvenated from the music, coming out feeling a little bit better than maybe you went in?
Let me tell you, it was just good vibes. The spirit was like all over the place. I don't know how Victor felt, but yeah.
Well, that's why I put it out to both of y'all. I just want to know.
Listen, the spirit was in the room. I can say that. I felt good. I did. I'm not even gonna lie. I felt good, and just hearing them sing the songs from the heart, and I was out my feet. I probably sat with Victor. I was around Victor, but like I was on stage a few times. Well, I'm talking about when they were singing. Like I was on stage half the time, and half the time I was right there by Victor, but I was on my feet. That's how good the gospel concert was really good. I felt it. What about you, Victor?
Yeah, what did you feel, Vic?
So my background, I'm super conservative when it comes to church.
Okay.
I don't do all that. I wasn't brought up like that. So if it ain't in the hymn book, I don't know the songs. So it's weird seeing that happen. But I felt easy when you see a familiar face in there. And then, because Veronica's parents was there as well. And when you see people having a good time, you tend to kind of lighten up a little bit. But for the most part, I enjoyed the music more than anything. Like I said, as far as everything else, I just wasn't raised like that. So,
Okay.
You're Baptist? No, you're not Baptist.
No, he ain't been not raised like that.
I'm AME.
Yeah, AME.
Yeah.
So it just proves the point to everybody that when they look at this screen and see all us as being Black folks, you got to realize you cannot assume that we all get down or do things the same, because we're not. Our backgrounds are not the same, and how we do things. That's why sometimes our point of views, and that's why this show does so well with contributing from our folks, our viewers, is that we have different backgrounds, we have different opinions, and this, that, and the other, and that's why it meshes. Sometimes we clash, but that's how it is. But the bottom line is we respect one another, but we understand that we all are not the same.
We're not. We're not the same. So I have another busy, well, not too busy, but busy weekend coming up. I will be hosting it's the live music festival. The homecoming edition is going to be going on this weekend. In Darlington, 527 Georgetown Road. Fat Man Cave presents True Soul Band. And I don't think I ever watched True Soul Band, but I hear that they put it down. I can't remember if I ever, I know I've seen Level 10 perform. I've seen what's the other group? They be like,
Men?
huh?
Painted Men?
Yes. And I'm trying to remember. And I saw another group, another band. They was awesome, but I can't remember if it was True Soul Band or not. But they are performing this weekend, and I have to host this event. I don't know if Mike Mills is on here, but he's a part of getting this together along with Fat Man Davis. If he jumps on, maybe he can put it out there how you can get tickets or whatever. But that's going down Saturday. This Saturday, the 22nd. Cannot wait because, like I said, I hear the band is awesome. So I know Victor's going to be hanging out with me again this weekend. So it's going to be fun times for team.
You should come too, Fatine.
Yeah,
No, I can't come.
You can hang with me.
It's okay, Fatine. You'll be there in spirit.
Yeah. I might be in my third day, so I'll test Friday. But anyway, don't forget the Tangy Tea. I'm gonna drop this now, y'all. Here it go. Tangy Tea Halloween party. It's gonna be at the Charlie Brown Pumpkin Patch. When you just look at the full moon, when you see Charlie Brown's head, just head over to Victor's backyard. That's the Charlie Brown's Pumpkin Patch, and be there on a Halloween. Well, be there that Sunday night, and will be tricks and treats. More tricks than any treats.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. But there is a Halloween Zumba party going down at the Big Area Gym next Wednesday. Come out, $5 to come in your best costume, and there's going to be prizes for the best costume. But that's going down. Hip Hop Fitness with Veronica Wednesday night. That's the 26th at the Big Area Gym, kicking off at 7 p.m. It's my Halloween Zumba party. So if you can come out. Victor going to be there as well in his costume.
He's wearing it.
We about to start shutdown, so we'll see.
You telling me all them parties with them colorful jackets he ain't been practicing?
Come on.
I'm trying to get all my party in before shutdown start, man. Because when shutdown start, that's it.
That's a wrap, right? What's going on, Laura? Hey, Patricia. Hey, Thomas. Hey, Mr. Sammy. I don't know if we spoke to Mr. Sammy. Hey, Mr. Sammy. Let's talk about Jason Tony album that's dropping. Trying to get him to come on the show, him and his guys. Jason, Temp Tunes album coming out. Temp Tones. I'm sorry, what I said, Tunes.
Yes.
Temp Tones album dropping this Friday. And Jason put in the comments how everyone can get that album.
What
That
kind of
will be
music?
appreciated.
What kind of music is that?
To me, I think it's more conscious music. To me, it puts me in the mind of Mos Def, Talib Kweli, you know, Common. It ain't a bunch of nonsense. It ain't no new school stuff. It's to me, it's conscious rap. He may call it something else. I mean, he can tell you more than me, but I think it's more or less, you know, conscious rap. It makes you think. He's got a song called Lost Souls. I want to send it to you, Fatim, but I don't know if he wanted me to, you know, it's his music. So I enjoy Lost Souls so far. So
hit me up with that, my brother, so I can hear it. Because sometimes I spotlight people on my WBLS show in New York. So hit me up with that.
I did ask the program director on Win 106 about that. And you know, a lot of program directors, you know, Fatim, they have to listen to it first. They have to make sure that it's in their genre. Well, how you say it?
Genre.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason says rap music, a little bit of everything, album streaming on all major platforms.
Okay, I got it. I have Pandora and Napster, so I can take a listen.
Napster?
Yeah,
what is
Napster. Napster. Mm-hmm.
I never.
It was something else before, but it was Napster changed to something else, then it came back to Napster.
Napster's the reason why the music industry is all messed up now.
Napster, Napster. Yeah, and I have Pandora too.
I'll check it out on Apple Music.
So
I got that too.
Well, congratulations to you, Jason. Congratulations.
So
you said, Victor?
I want to ask y'all something. I don't know if you got a letter tonight, Veronica, but
I do.
I want to ask y'all something.
Soul.
This shit's been bothering me for about 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 decades. If one person wants to do something and the other person, let's say in a relationship, one person wants to do something and one person doesn't, who's right and who's wrong? Who's giving in and who's not?
If one person wants to do something and the other one doesn't.
So let's say you know, let's say me and you, Veronica, was in a relationship, and you was like, well, I said, well, I want a vacation in Hawaii, and you want a vacation in Colorado. You know what I'm saying? And we both come to the, you know what I'm saying, to the end. Like, how can, and there is no common ground. Let's say we both saying, you know, it is what it is. So I decided to go to Hawaii anyway. Am I wrong for that?
You went to Hawaii without me?
But you don't want to go? You want to go to Colorado.
What kind of trip are we going on?
It's just a trip.
No, you're not going without me. I'm going to suck it up and I'm going to just go with you whether I want to go or not. I'm going to go with you.
So if you go, is it my fault that you went, or is it you wanting to just giving in and want to go?
Me personally, it will be more of me wanting to spend time with you. So that's just me. I will be the one to give in and be like, okay, you know, we can make the best of it, even though I don't want to really go. As long as I'm with you, honey, it's fine with me.
Fatim?
Well, since you put the word wrong in there, is who's wrong. It depends on how the relationship goes, and if one person is dominant or always picking the place to go, and now someone else wants to go somewhere else, and they are usually not the one that's dominant, then I think the person that is usually gets their way should give in to go. If it's 50-50, then that means, you know, that you both have not compromised, but both have had your way. And I just think that y'all just have to somehow come to the meeting of the minds. But since you said you couldn't find a common ground of that, and you're going to decide to go, Victor, are you wrong on going? I think it's a little insensitive if you decide to go and the other person don't want to give in. I think it's a little insensitive. If y'all can't come to common grounds, then go somewhere else. But for one to go and the other, because if you went, I think you was wrong, insensitive. And I think if she went and you didn't go, it would be insensitive.
So I'll say this. I mean, this whole situation is it kind of gets close to home, but it's kind of not like that. But I'll say something about me. If I don't want to do something, I ain't gonna do it. I'm just not, because I definitely don't want the other person to do something that they don't want to do, and then them say at the end, well, I only did it because you wanted to. That is one of the worst feelings, I think. I can say one of the worst, but that's a pretty bad feeling when, you go out and you do something and then somebody say, well, I only did this because you wanted to do it. And it's like, well, shit, I didn't ask you to come anyway. But why do something? Why do something if you don't want to do it? Like, I get compromised. Yes, I'm going with you because I want to be with you. But there's certain things that I feel like you just shouldn't say, even if that's how you feel.
Wait a minute. So you saying you shouldn't say how you feel? See, I think that I'm glad you kind of brought this up, Victor. I'm just going to cut to the chase. What the hell are we getting in relationships for if we going to be so stringent? I mean, like you said, Victor, I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z. That needs to be put on the table before somebody even commit to you, because they need to know. Because if you're going to be so stringent and hot and cold, yes and no, I know you said you understand compromise, but you ain't going to do something, then why be in a relationship? Because relationship is not only sharing values, it's sharing opinions, and it's compromising, it's sacrificing. So what's the purpose of even being in a relationship? Because at the end of the day, if you're not going to bend, then relationships you bend.
So there's a difference between doing something that you don't want to do and compromise. I've asked Veronica to come places with me at spur of the moment, and she's come. And then she asked me to go to the gospel concert, and I went. I went to the gospel concert because I wanted to go to the gospel concert. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I did it because she asked me. I did it because that's what I wanted to do. And that's what I'm saying. So I'll never do anything that I don't want to do. It's just not going to happen. But I do have a compromise. So, if somebody invite me to say, hey, let's go bungee jumping, I'm just not going to do that shit. But if you want to go to this place that offers bungee jumping, then I'll go. To me, that's a compromise. But if you're saying this is what we're going to do, and I don't want to do it, I'm just not going to do it.
I think it comes a time like that, Veronica. I know you're getting ready to speak. I think it does come a time where there is a cutoff where sometimes people don't want to do something and their values come into play. And I think if the other person knows that, they know your line. And if they know your line, then they got to respect your line. See, that's the difference. That's why when I threw that question out to you, Victor, you responded. If I know your line, then I'm not going to try to push you over that line. You understand? So that's interesting. Veronica, I kind of cut you off. Sorry.
Oh, no, you good. I forgot what I was going to say.
So, I mean, that's just like when people, if y'all like seafood and I don't really care for it, and you offer to take me to a seafood restaurant, I'm going to be like, well, do they serve just seafood? And if you tell me yes, then I ain't going. You know what I'm saying? But if they serve other things, then I'll go and just get something else. But it's not like, I feel like, we do things. And then let's say we go to the seafood restaurant and I get something else and I sit there and I say, well, I'm only here because they serve something else. I really don't want to be here. It's like, well, why would you say that and just kill the whole damn mood?
Don't say it, right? I don't like Thai food. I don't like Thai food because I don't like spicy food. But if I can get something else, and that's something that you want, I think it's fair that. But I wouldn't say that I'm only here. But I wouldn't do that. That's insensitive.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it. I mean, if I feel it, I may not. I mean, I'm not going to just come out and say, I'm only going because.
But you know who do that?
Go ahead and say it. Women.
Yeah, exactly. That's some shit women do. I'm telling you, that's some shit women do.
Well, I can't argue with you there.
Because I've never heard of a man. I know there's always an exception to the rule, but I've never heard a man complain and say some shit like that ever.
Shit.
So
except for the burnt rice. Except for the burnt rice.
Okay. Which we're not even getting ready to get into. So Patricia says when you're in a relationship, you have to compromise. It's give and take.
And I'm sounding like I'm gonna contradict myself again. You do, but you don't. You do have to compromise, but at the same, like Fatim made the point last week. There's certain things he's just not going to compromise on. You know, his manhood is something that he's just not going to. You don't even bring that up to him. So there is a compromise, but at the same time, there's not. But I get what she's saying. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Jason says in relationships, you have to do a lot of things you don't want to do. LOL. Our interests don't always match, but if it's important to them, I'll be a team player, and I'm with that.
Exactly. I'm just not gonna say it to you. I'm not gonna say,
but you're not gonna go.
Huh?
You're not gonna go if it's somewhere.
No. I will to a certain extent. I will, but even if I did not want to go, I'm not gonna tell you. But if it compromises something that I don't want to do, or compromise my morals and my beliefs, that's a no-go. Let me say that. Because I'm thinking about so many different situations in my head where I kind of over here and there, but yeah.
People have boundaries and limits.
Facts.
And no, not all women do that, Victor. Patricia is right. Not all women do that. I have been to plenty of restaurants I didn't want to, but I went and found something on the menu, even if it's a salad. True.
Oh, what I was saying was that women will tell you that
they're going just because you want to. But Brittany says, I think Brittany is watching from YouTube. Hello, Brittany. She says some people just aren't team players, and that's the truth. Some people aren't. It's either their way or no way.
It's the team of me.
And you'll find yourself by yourself with me. Trust me.
Right. You have to be a team player.
No, but no, you don't.
Yes, you do. At some point, sometimes in the relationship, you have to be a team player. You're not going to get things your way all the time, Victor.
There are women out there that will give in 100% of the time.
So just forget what they want.
There are men out there that'll give up for 100% of the time. I mean, there are people out there like that. Now, I don't know any of them, but we've all heard cases and we've seen things, and we're like, there's no way that there's people out there that exist like that. But it's true.
Well, I say that all the time about the letters, but
that's a good point, Victor, because my mom's, looking back at my moms and pops when they got into they both passed at 61, so I don't want to say they got older, but when they were getting older, my father knew not to ask my moms to go somewhere because she ain't going. So he knew what to do. And my mom's, if she went somewhere and she knew not to ask my father, and they trusted one another. Hey, you going and you do that with your sister or whoever, and he gonna do it with his brother or the fellas or whatever. But they knew their boundaries, so they didn't see. That's where respect comes in. If you know, I don't ask me to come to some thing where I ain't going. I'm not going to pick daisies. I'm not doing that. So don't ask me that. And you don't ever want to do nothing with me. I ain't doing that, but you know that. You know that. So just I ain't gonna ask you to come to me to the boxing match if you don't want to be around a lot of guys and cigar smoke or whatever. I'm just using that as an example. So I know the boundaries. So you give that person that respect, you know, at the end of the day. And then you compromise and say, you know what, I did that. Let's go out and do something that we both enjoy and do that like that. And that's what his life is about.
Right, Mr. Sammy. You don't want no yes. Yeah, how they say it, you don't want no yes man. No. Mr. Sanders, I don't want no woman that will give in for everything.
No.
Have your own mind, for God's sake.
Stand on something, or you fall for anything. Come on.
Right.
Stand on me. I'm gonna tell you something. People say I've never had and I sit down and I contemplate. When I hear these guys talking about all this freedom that they have, I'm like, where the fuck these women at? I'm not saying, like, every woman I've ever dated has been independent, strong-willed, strong mind, and we've gotten along, but to a certain extent, then we all cut it off. I've never met a woman who was just a complete pushover. And I would like, I'm not saying I would want to, but that would be interesting. That would be very interesting. There's somebody that'll go along with all the bullshit all the time. Because
I wouldn't even want nobody like that.
To reel me in sometimes. But somebody who will keep letting me go further and further and further and further. Yeah, I'll be in jail some damn way.
But you know what? I'm glad not glad you said that. I don't want to keep saying sound like a broken record. There are some people that are in relationships that they're not outlandish with their life. So the women don't put a lot of boundaries on their men, and their men have a little bit more free will. But their men are, like I said, they're not outlandish, so they don't really push the line. See, everybody's different. Everybody's different. I'm not dealing with a henpecked woman. Never did. You understand what I'm saying? I never did. I have had freedom, so I'm not gonna sit there and say, I'm not dealing with that. So what you just said, Victor, that's the line. I ain't dealing with a henpecked. Every little nick can pick. I'm not doing that. Especially where I'm at in my life now. Life is just, you realize in your 20s and 30s what you done and things you did. Where I'm at now, I'm not dealing with the 20s and 30s. That's kid stuff to me. You deal with grown folks do grown up things. And if you can't do that and learn to respect, then it ain't working. That's all to it.
Well, John been missing in action for a few weeks, and he's
here tonight
talking junk. He said, I'll go or something the woman want to do sometimes, but it's usually so she could shut the H up for the sake of peace.
That's true.
You know what?
That's true.
That word rings a bell.
Oh God.
Oh, can we talk about it for a second before I jump on this letter? Shall we?
All right.
So let me tell the good folks.
Why, John?
Let me tell the good folks out here. I sent Victor and Fatine a video. It was a TikTok video, as a matter of fact, and this brother was talking about peace. And these men that's always talking about they want peace, they need peace, they need peace. And he said, first of all, let me back up. When I sent them this TikTok, normally if we send each other a video or whatever, we'll all chime in and we'll talk about it. I heard nothing from these guys. When I sent this video, and this was yesterday, I still have not heard anything back from them about this video. I was like, oh, well, am I stepping on some toes tonight? The brother was saying these guys that always stream about they want peace are the ones that are not bringing peace to the home. They are the ones that's staying out all late. They are the ones that's doing the cheating. They are the ones that's doing this and doing that, but they're streaming about they want peace from their women. These two guys right here, they went silent, didn't say a word. So was the brother wrong or right?
Victor, before you go, let me jump in here. So first of all, unfortunately, Two things. I didn't watch the video because I was traveling yesterday and didn't feel well. So I would, but just to comment on what you just said of the video without watching it, I don't have a problem with a brother, you know, showing accountability of some of the things that we men do that is not correct. I don't have a problem with that. I didn't comment on it. I didn't see it. I don't have a problem with that. And he is right. He's saying it to me, some of us men are being hypocritical, is that we do a lot of dirt, but then we want to come and say we want peace, but we create that tension. And then when it's given back to us, then we want to bitch and moan. So I didn't see the video, but what you explained so far, just to make the comment, since I didn't see the video because of the travel and not feeling well, I can agree with some of the things that the brother said, because a lot of times we want to jump on women like that. A lot of us men ain't correcting our crap. And when a man calls us out, damn right, he's right on that. Vic?
Thank you. Thank you, Fatima.
You need to watch the video.
I got to watch it. I didn't see it, but I'm only going on what Veronica said. That's my response.
He's saying the exact same thing that I'm saying.
He's saying it, but you got to watch the video, because he was simping like hell. Like, he reminded me of Derek Jackson. It's some woman that he trying to get somebody's attention. I don't know what it is.
Well, he's pretty much like that with all his videos.
Yeah, well, he trash.
Why does he have to be trash? Just because he's speaking up. Oh, he's not on the brother's side. He's not on the men's side. Why does he have to be trash?
If you realize, even Kevin Samuel wasn't on our side, he still was upstanding citizen. Geno Jennings is not on every man's side. Kevin Samuel
is always on the men's side.
Who?
Not when he first started. No, not Kevin Samuels. Not when he first started. He first came out. He got on our asses too. But
I'm talking about the Kevin Samuels we know. A lot of us didn't start getting into him until this past.
Well, then you didn't know Kevin Samuels then.
Right.
Well, let's talk about the Kevin Samuels that we all know. The one that
the Kevin Samuels I know got on everybody.
No, the one that was always on the women.
I didn't know him. I knew the one that got on.
Bump that.
But I gotta give you credit on that, because you never really saw Kevin Samuels having men call in or be on his thing asking questions. We always saw women. So when women said he was trash, a lot of us men would become defensive.
Yep.
So now we calling this guy trash, and I think we doing the opposite of what women did to Kevin Samuels.
Well, he can't help who call into his show. Y'all the ones that was calling in. If he was such trash, you should have tuned him out.
True. I give you that.
So the thing is about peace. I can find my peace, PEACE, in almost, I shouldn't say almost anybody. If I choose to be with you and we choose to be with each other, then there is a level of peace there. Sometimes it's not going to be as peaceful as it was in the beginning, but there's still got to be a common effect when we're around each other. What he's saying is factual, but he's not speaking for every man out there. And he's not even speaking for the majority of the men. So I get it. When a guy cheats and does all this shit and wants to come home to a peaceful house, then yes, his shit should be in turmoil. But at the same time, if he's going out there cheating and doing all that, you shouldn't be there or allow him to come back. So in a sense, both of y'all stupid, in my opinion. Like, why would you want to be with somebody who constantly treats you like trash? That's ridiculous.
That's a good question.
Well,
because a lot of people continue to be in relationships that get treated like trash. Answer, that's a good question.
I mean, some people say, "Oh, I'm stuck." You're never stuck. I listened to, when I was at the Purple Table Talk, there are so many resources for women that you have to, and the thing about it is, a lot of it is education. Ma'am, if you really want to leave, do the research on how to leave, and I guarantee you there is a program for relocation for anybody who feels as if they are stuck in a situation. There ain't too many for men, but there are some for women.
Yeah.
So
but you know what?
Go ahead.
I don't like when people say just leave. It's not that simple. Or I don't see how someone can stay in a relationship for so long and getting mistreated though. Because, and I'm from a women's point of view, and just going straight into this letter. I swear, every topic that we be talking about, it like leads up to the letter. But this letter pissed me off. But
Well, read it.
Let's go. Don't let us get. That's a perfect segue. Don't miss that, Miss DJ, because you know that timing is everything.
yeah, well, let me get
Cheryl. Well, maybe Cheryl comment will come up in this letter because she says people stay because they don't want to start over. Well, sorry, but sometimes life
this right here just wasn't. This right here just pissed me off because I don't. Here we go. So she says, and she just got straight into it. Really isn't a. I mean, it's a letter, but not really a letter. But anyway, she says, so I was with this guy for about 4 months because I was with this guy for about 4 months before telling him I was previously married. His entire demeanor changed after that. He stopped calling for a few weeks, and then he had the nerve to show up at my house wanting to have sex. He said he didn't mean any harm. He just wanted to get his thoughts together because he didn't know how to take that I've been with someone before him in a marriage type situation. Me being the dummy, slept with him and he went missing for another few weeks again and came back and apologized. I really like this guy, but I'm not sure he is the one for me. I don't know if I would ever find someone to love me after knowing I've been divorced. I beat myself up all the time because of this. How do I even start a relationship by telling them I've been married before without them giving me the deuces?
God. Jesus.
First of all, stop judging people for their past. If you don't want to be with someone because of their past, then kick rocks. And I'm going to tell you, this kind of hit home for me because I was in that same situation when I first got divorced. I was like, oh my gosh, now I'm not going to, I'm not going to say I'm not going to find anyone to be with me, but just going through that divorce. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, am I going to be alone? Am I going to, I'm going to find somebody that want to be with somebody that's been divorced? You know what? I'm like, now kick rock. If you can't take the past, we've all been through things. We've all, done things that we shouldn't have done. We've all, we say we don't call them mistakes. We've done things. We've lived. And if you can't accept someone's past, then bye-bye. Bye-bye. And now in her situation, you've been with this guy, she said, what, 4 months? Okay, now I don't feel like it's anybody's business what you did in your past if you don't feel comfortable telling them. But me personally, I would tell someone who I'm getting involved with, that I've been married before. I would let them know and let them make that decision. Hey, do you want to still kick it or not? Even though it was a little frightening for me to, to say it, because like I said, I went through that stage because not everybody want to be with somebody that already been. But to me, like, what's the difference in you getting with somebody that have kids? What's the difference? But we went before God and said, I do. And it's on paper at the courthouse. What's the difference with you getting involved with somebody that already have kids? I'm just stop judging people for their past. This just pissed me off that he just was like, bye. But my whole thing is, I don't know if this dude really wanted her from the beginning, because if he could just up and leave that quick just because of something she did in her past, like, do you really? This kind of made me mad, like seriously, when I read it. But Victor, I turn it over to you and I get more into it.
I've done that a few times. I've broken up with girls because I found out they were married. I didn't want nothing to do with it. Or
married, or they've been married before?
Been married before. Because I didn't want to be with somebody who was divorced. I didn't. But
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to jump in because this is a touchy subject for me. Like, it's just touchy. But it's the truth.
I mean,
let you finish.
I got non-negotiables. I've done it. There's women out there that don't like me today because they told me they was married before, and that was it. I was out. It's just what my personal preference was, and the older I got, I kind of changed a little bit. I look at marriage maybe a little differently. That's probably why I'm not married now. And I've never been married. I've come close. But yeah, when I was younger, I never wanted to be with somebody who was previously married. I just did.
And we all have choices, because I've said before, I didn't want to be with someone that had kids, you know. But as I grow older and I had my son, I'm like, who am I? I have a child. How can I look at someone else and say I don't want to be with someone because they have a child? That's crazy.
So for the most part, biblically, once you get married, that's it. It don't matter. Unless your husband dies, it's still death do you part. So regardless if I step in, be the second, third, fourth, or fifth marriage, that first husband, as long as he's still alive, that's still your damn husband. So that's just how I look at it.
Oh my God, guys.
But you know, it is what it is, though.
It's amazing. I wish Victor didn't put that that tidbit in there. That shit. I can't even sugarcoat. That shit bothers me. We pick what this 51 out of scriptures, but then we live a heathen life. I swear to God, it bothers me. You know, we want to pick the Bible for this, but then we live this. It's crazy. But hey, each his own. But you know, the problem, I don't have a problem with this a person being married, because we live life. But sometimes past do matter. And you probably say, well, Fatin, what do you mean? Well, past do matter because you with someone or married to someone, and you unfortunately you caught HIV or whatever. Past does matter to some people to a degree.
Yeah.
I don't look at a divorcee, and I don't think society looks at divorcee. Society in a whole look at divorcees how they've looked at them back in the 40s and the 50s. They don't look at it like that because people just realized, and they have more options today. So I think that this woman should let people know. I just don't see it being a problem that you was a divorcee. If you want to do what Victor does, which Victor has the right to do, and say, I don't want to be with somebody who was married before, you have that right. But sister, there's a lot of people that have divorced people and have gotten remarried, divorced and gotten remarried, and went on to live their life. Your problem is that he disappeared. You gave him a chance and he disappeared again. So my question is, where are you at in life? I don't know why you divorced your husband. I don't know, but you can have a life. But I don't know what kind of person you are. You didn't give us enough in this letter to say what you can do. So the only thing we can say is I can't throw you under the bus because I don't know you. But at the end of the day, don't hide your past. If you was married, you was married. It didn't work. It didn't work. You move on. You don't stop living life. If you meet somebody that don't want to get married, like Veronica said, tell that person, kick rocks, and to move on. That's it. But don't be a sucker for nobody.
So let me back up for a second. Before the show even started, I told you I grew up in an ultra conservative church.
Correct.
I follow the Bible. Whether people believe it or not, it really don't matter to me. My relationship with God is my relationship. So I just put that out there. I don't follow one or two scriptures. I follow exactly what I need to follow. And it might not look like it, but it really don't matter to me. But there's a lot of people out there that think just like me. I'm not going to, unless your husband died. Nah.
That's a lie.
I've never, ever put a ring on a woman. This is not a lie.
I ain't saying put no ring.
Okay, then. A relationship is a relationship. That's it. No matter what it looked like, a relationship is a relationship. When you start talking about marriage, that's completely different. We're talking completely different. That's different.
I hate that for you. I mean,
Please
because
don't
you could
hate
you
it for me.
no, I'm
You
just
can love
saying.
that for me because I stand on that.
I mean, yeah, you can stand on that, but that pisses that
I'm not for, but that's just it. I'm not for everybody. And I'm perfectly happy not being for everybody.
because I can't because to me, that's like you judging someone from their past. You don't know what went on. I speak for myself. No one knows what I went through. You know what I'm saying? To end up where I am today. No one knows that. So
And nobody, and no do you have to stay in that damn situation if it was abuse or this, that, and other. Why the hell? Because you said I do, that you being abused or whatever, you gotta stay because I said I do. That's crazy.
and don't judge
Who is
me.
condoning that? Nobody's condoning that.
But then you said I won't. I don't believe that if the person don't die, that if they say I do, you believe that's it for them. That's crazy.
Right.
Well, and I said that's what my what.
That's
Your-
like
your
when
belief.
a person it don't have a life anymore. Like that's
They can
it.
do
Like
whatever.
they can't. No, I'm just saying. Like that's mean of you.
That
Yeah.
well, it is what it is, but it's just me, and I'm not the only. Trust me, I am not the only one that thinks like that.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're not. But I mean, no one should judge no one. And that's just like Brittany said. And I don't want to get biblical because I don't know the Bible that way. Now, like I say, I do read my scriptures every morning. But Brittany says biblically, once you have sex, you are married.
That's what it says in the
That's the
Bible.
case. How many marriages are we really in? Exactly.
Thank you.
You're not
You
even
only
supposed to
in
be
one.
having. You're not even supposed to be having sex and not married. If we want to go there,
That's why I said we pick what. See, that's
We
why I'm saying we
pick
become
and choose.
hypocritical with that crap. So don't start throwing scriptures if you ain't walking on water, because God said, if we were perfect, then Jesus wouldn't have had to come here and all that. So that's why I'm saying we get hypocritical. We pick what we want to pick, but then we live a heathen life. What I mean is a heathen life. We don't have to be totally effed up, but we pick and choose what we want to do. But then when we do other things, we overlook those things that they say in the Bible we shouldn't do.
And that's called what?
Intoxication,
That's called what?
sinning.
Free will, right?
Oh, free will. But you want to go into the 10 commandments? Of course, there's much more. There's 613 commandments. Leviticus is a bunch of commandments. It talks about drinking. You drink, not particularly you, Victor. I'm saying people. You want to drink and become intoxicated, but then you want to throw scriptures. Well, I don't marry it. This, that, and other. Stop being a hypocrite. I don't tolerate that. That's crazy.
Wait, let me get to some of these comments. Let me see. So I'll start at the top. Spouse cheating, wasting, not that. Right, Tim. Tim was like, it's bad when Veronica gets pissed off. Oh, let me see. Yes, Mr. Sammy says you need to be honest and tell him up front. Exactly. Tanya was like, what being married got to do with him? Tim says no one care if you was married or how many bodies you have before. Who are you now? And that right there is the point. That is the fact. The fact.
That's a lie. Yeah, because bodies, if you telling me you've been in this church and you done slept with 10 people in this church, that matters. Yeah, certain amount of bodies. If you've been
I ain't talking about the body part. I'm talking about who are you now? Who are you now? I don't care about your. I'm not gonna say I don't care.
You got to be careful there.
I'm not gonna say I don't care 100% about your past, but who are you now? Not who you was married to before, or you know what I'm saying. I'm not going to date nobody with no 10 kids, or you know what I'm saying. But I'm saying,
who is he? So you'll date a man who was openly gay before?
I said I'm not going to judge you 100% from your past.
Go ahead. Nice way to backtrack.
No, I did say that. I said I'm not going to judge someone 100% from their past, but I'm not going to.
That's why people lie. So let's put this in the proper perspective. That's why people don't tell you your past, because people are going to be so judgmental, even though you have changed your life. Because I was going to throw that at Victor, and I know he talks about the hypothetical, but it's a good question in a sense, not picking on you, Victor, but you meet someone, you fall in love with them, and you get married, but they were married before, but they know that's your pet peeve. They heard you say that, and y'all fall, and then 5 years go down the road, and y'all still living happily married, and somehow you find out she was married, and then she come and tell you, I didn't tell you, Victor, but look, 5 years in, look what we got. Now, you may say deuces now. You saying that now.
So why?
When you but you're not emotionally attached to 5 years and still in a blissful marriage. Now you say that you've changed in the past, you may change in the future, bro.
Why even waste my time?
I'm not. Why for her to say that 5 years down the line? Oh, I was married. She might as well tell me she was born a damn man then. Why would you hold on to some shit like that?
Because she knew that if she told you that and y'all were going so good and she felt that you was that connection.
Did she lie?
You thought her?
Our whole relationship's a lie.
No, it's not a lie. If you are living a great life, how is it a lie?
You shouldn't hide. You shouldn't. Don't hide shit from me. Let me choose. So basically, you held back some information that you know that I would probably walk away from.
Do you tell everything to the women? Do you tell every woman you slept with to a woman?
I do.
Okay.
So you gonna tell somebody how many people you didn't slept with?
I don't keep count. That's childish.
But
you don't have to keep count.
You said that was important, right?
It's
the body
important.
count matters.
Yeah. So you could say a lot.
Keeps count is childish as hell.
That's bull crap. You know, you keep count. You know, it's a lot of women. If you didn't slept with a lot of women, just say I slept with. Was it over 10? You know, if it's over 10 or 20 women, you know that. Yeah, don't shake your head because you know it. We all know it.
Tell me what I know.
Because you. Okay.
I don't, bro. And this is the thing.
You're right. I can't tell you.
Understand with people. You can assume so many different things, but until you know, you know.
Because you choose not to keep count. But if you choose to keep count, you will be able, you may miss a few, but you can get in the ballpark, bro. Don't tell me you can't. You may not keep count, but if somebody asks you and you really wanted to answer, you could go through that.
But like I said, that's childish, man. Keeping track of who you slept with, like, wow, that makes no sense.
It's not about keeping count. I don't sit here and reminisce how many women I slept with, but I know how many, just in the ballpark, how many women I slept with.
How many?
That's why I have to be BS people, man. If we're gonna be transparent, man.
I am transparent.
But if you want the woman to be transparent, you'll be transparent then. You know how many women you done slept with, bro.
So if I'm sitting here telling you, honestly, on this damn show, because anybody can jump in this damn comment section. That's why I do this show, bro. I have nothing to hide. I don't keep count. I don't.
I'm not saying you don't keep count. I didn't say that because I would be a fool to do that and disrespectful. But I'm saying if someone asks you in the ballpark, you can think back to who you slept with and give a roundabout figure. You can, Victor. Don't tell me you can't. You're not missing noodles up there, bro. You intelligent brother.
Under 3. How about that?
Oh yeah, okay, that's crap. But anyway,
how do you know?
I don't know. I just had to say.
Oh, I know.
Thank you, Veronica. Thank you, Veronica.
You can't even say that. Like
under 3,
you're not. Nobody can really sit up here and accurately say how many women that I've slept with.
Is it under 3? Okay,
it could be,
but it ain't. I bet.
It ain't too much more than 3. How about that?
Shit, you be buying me beer for the rest of the year. I bet you that.
You're gonna turn me into no slut bucket. I don't. I've been in long relationships, like here recently. Yeah, I've had some short ones, but I've been in long relationships. I'm with one woman for like 12 years. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
And I told you, society don't look at. I hate to say it, but men don't get put in, they may say, but men don't really get put in a slut bucket because it's a male chauvinist society. So
that's right.
It's expected to men to dip and dab. Maybe it's not right, but
let's see. John says, lady, you ain't the one for him. How in Jesus' name it takes 4 months to say you marry? Secondly, that man know he can play with you anytime he wants, simply because he knows you're vulnerable and very emotional, alone being very gullible.
That's it. Shut it down. That's it. That's Russell Simmons ended the
Yeah,
show. That's it. That's a great comment
because
right there,
after he
John.
went missing in action, after I told him that, you
Great
gonna come
comment.
back weeks later talking about you want some? Bye.
Good comment, John. That covers it.
Jason says you should really have told him that you were divorced. I'm sure those types of conversations were asked earlier. Yeah, I think it's very important for someone to know that. You
Yeah.
know, I
Mhm.
That
mean,
should be that's first date shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you tell me about like the second time, if we had sex and then you tell me you was married, oh, I'm out. I'm out, cuz. I'm out.
No comment.
There's nothing to comment about, but I'm out.
No, I mean, I'm just thinking about no comment because a lot of people, because I can't sit there and say you're wrong, and a lot of people have sex with people and they're not looking for a relationship. So that's why I said no comment, because everybody don't lay down with somebody that they're looking for a relationship. It's just not like that all the time. So it's a broad brush. I'm not painting it with that. Everybody that lay down and go out on dates is not looking always for a relationship. Sometimes the people are not there for that.
all I'm saying, to each his own. Whatever
Yep.
makes you happy, whatever
Mhm.
you don't want to do, don't do it.
That's it.
No one's forcing you, and it's not in no book. It's not in the rule book, as y'all be calling it sometimes, that you have to
Yeah.
do this, you have to do that.
Yeah.
Like,
But I do agree with Victor about the transparency, because people get misconstrued, and you tell them one thing, like Victor will tell you, I'm out. If you've been married, I'm out. But it'd be wrong for Victor to continue to date somebody where she done told him that. Now Victor's playing with her because he knows in the back of his head he may be hitting this, but he know I ain't never gonna make no
like this
commitment
man.
to you.
But you know, you got people that'll sit here that's been divorced that'll tell you, I'm never getting married again.
And that's one thing I'm not gonna say. I'm never gonna say never, because you never know what will take place. I'm not
I
gonna say
mean, and
never.
that's if, but like Fatine said, every relationship is not based on being married. Like, people get in a relationship is a bond between two people. That's it. A relationship don't necessarily have to be monogamous. So I think when you use that term relationship, since we're talking about society now, when people say relationship, you automatically assume they're monogamous and they're going to eventually get married. And that's not true.
That's correct. Thank you, Victor. That's true. It's not.
Time say ain't nobody on this earth that hasn't been with someone.
My kids.
Come on, Victor. We talking about adults.
She didn't say adults.
Well, you know that's what she's talking about.
Stop putting words in people's mouths. She did not. She said ain't nobody.
Adults.
She did not say adults.
Tanya, please comment adult so he can know what you're talking about.
I'm just saying, when you start AC Green was what, 40 something years old before he had sex the first time? Or in his 30s, and he was an NBA player. Cut it out, man.
Laura says, when it comes to starting over, I'm all about starting something new. I don't believe in living in the past.
Hey,
you don't live in the past. You don't live in the past. That is correct. But your past can have effects on you. You got to realize that you don't live in the past. A lot of people still, that's a good point. You want to move forward. A lot of people can't even move forward because they're still stuck in the past. And because of your emotional attachment. But what Victor is saying is interesting. And it is interesting. And it, to me, is on point that your past can matter. So if you're going to be transparent, be transparent. Don't wait for somebody just to act if you know something may be a deal breaker. But a lot of people are not going to expose everything because they feel some things may be a deal breaker with some people. Some people will take things to their grave. A lot of us will take things to our grave.
Tim says, if you're divorced, at least you know what not to do.
Shit.
That's why people are divorced 4 or 5 times. Come on.
That is not true.
That's wrong, Tim. You
Hey,
experienced my brother?
no, hell no.
Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no.
Speak
Hell
for
no.
yourself. Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself, because I learned a lot. I've grown a lot. So I know what he's saying. I
Yeah,
absolutely agree with that.
you
Yes.
can grow, but that don't mean that you know everything. That means
No,
you
he
can
didn't say
grow.
everything. He didn't say everything.
And then sometimes you got to realize that in a divorce, sometimes it's not your fault. It could be the other person's fault. So what did you learn for? Maybe you learned some red flags to look for, maybe.
That statement there is just like saying if you was in an abusive relationship, you'll never get in one again.
That's not what he's saying.
Come on. I know, Tim, I get what you're saying. I get it. But I would have worded it just a little different.
A little differently. It's kind of
Well,
open.
I understood exactly what he was saying. It's not like he's saying that you know everything. Come on, y'all.
I mean,
you learn,
like saying, if you get cheated on, you know what to look for now. No, you don't.
Yeah, life is learning, and Veronica, life is learning. But you know, you getting with a different person, and you know what to look for, and you don't get none of them signs, and still go through the same thing and divorce again. So that's what I'm saying. That we understand. He just should have worded that differently. He opened up where we could critique it,
and that's exactly right.
What'd you say?
No, I was going to read Tanya comment. She said, and this go back to the same thing I said about children. She said it's the same as being with someone that's been in a relationship before. So you telling me all these the different people that you get in relationships with, it's okay because they haven't signed a paper?
Also, now it's just a paper.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it really is.
I'm not. We do go before God, and I'm not going to lie. I wanted my marriage to work, but I'm just saying.
Go before God.
I mean,
that paper, you ain't going before no God. You going before a damn judge.
You going before a preacher.
I went.
Because you ain't going before no God. Because you could jump a broom. You can just say I do.
But I'm just saying.
Legal.
To me, I mean, what's the difference if you getting involved with somebody that already have children? You getting involved with someone that already been with someone before you, multiple people, but you cool with still sleeping with them. But you're not cool with putting a ring on their finger.
So basically what you're saying is somebody that has kids and a woman that's being divorced is on the same playing field?
You darn right.
No, they're not.
Somebody that have kids and me being divorced, she ain't no better than me.
So
thank you. It's just legal, legal.
Just legally,
I
was married.
Right. They're two different things. A woman can be raped and have kids. A woman could have a one-night stand and have
we're not
kids.
going all the way out there in the bushes, Victor. Come on, stay in the lane.
What I'm saying is, let me get to it. There are people out there that are marriage. When you're talking about marriage, we're talking about planning. We're talking about commitment. We're talking about a whole bunch of shit over here.
Mm-hmm. That we thought we wanted at that, yeah.
Whoever thought they wanted. All right. Over here, you got somebody out here that's living free or whatever. So to me, when you over here and you doing this and it didn't work, if my man didn't die, my personal preference is to leave you over there. We just not it. It just can't be. But I did say I used to think like that because I said that used to be me. Yeah, but my views on that is still kind of still slim in that, but I've relaxed a little bit. Not much, but a little bit.
Well, did you relax because you've been in a relationship, you got 3 children, and
with the same woman?
Fine, that's right. But so to somebody else saying, well, they look at it if you was married to her or not married to her, you all have kids. So I mean, my question is, I'm not criticizing you, but my question is to you: did you relax a little bit because of experience, or did you relax because of your experience with having children with a woman that you're not with now, and you probably will?
Tina has nothing to do with my relationship now. So my thing is now I find it real funny. I have to, but anyway, I am who I am. I'm not for everybody. And if me and somebody didn't work because of this, then it is what it is. I have no problem severing ties with somebody based on something that I feel as if should not be kept. Let me just say that. I have no
don't you know right now, Victor, there may be some women that may be attracted to you, my brother, and they know some of these things about you, and that they feel that if they got with you, that they feel that they are good enough to be a good woman, a good wife to you, but they also can break you down a little bit.
I don't need them.
I didn't say you need them. I'm just saying, I'm just telling, don't you know that there may be some.
The thing. I'm not for everybody. I don't want that attention. I don't go out seeking the approval of everybody. You know what I'm saying? I just need the approval of just a small circle.
Okay.
And the person who I'm with now accept me for who I am. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, that's all the physical affection I need. Anything outside of that is all some auxiliary shit I don't want. I don't seek the approval of multiple women. I don't need it. Some guys do. I'm just not one of them.
Got it. I understand. I got you. I don't. That's a.
What'd you say for team?
No, I was just gonna say that's an interesting point, and I wonder if a lot of men that have multiple women or seek to have multiple women need approval from the multiple women, or is something else? Because I think just looking at a lot of people that I've been around,
it's both. Either way you look at it.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of men desire to be, to have that. It's just, I think it's self-gratification. They want self-gratification. And then sometimes one woman, just follow me on this, y'all. Sometimes one woman don't give everything to a man. I mean, it could be a lot here, and then and another woman, it could be something. Same with men. Some women don't get everything, get a hard work and this, that, and other, but that brother may not be sensitive, where another man may be a little bit more sensitive, and they get a little bit both from, they get the package, a complete package from two people. I've seen the women, I've just come up in life, and I've seen women that deal with, that the issue is I've seen both. I've seen men deal with more than one woman, and I've seen women deal with more than one man. I've seen it, and I'll be honest with you, both the women and the men were aggressive individuals, and one man did not give them some feeling.
I'm sorry, I had a text coming through.
Go ahead.
Where you going? Where are you going with this? What's the?
I'm just saying what Victor was talking about. He doesn't need self-gratification for more than numerous women. He said that, and I'm saying that I wonder if people really need self-gratification for more than one woman. I think it's more for their own individual self, what they need or looking for. And I'm not just going to blame it on men. I've seen it both, where women and men need something that one person can't give them, and sometimes they get it from two people.
Mr. Sammy, this goes back to when I first made my comment about this letter, because to me it's no different than you dating someone with kids and you dating someone that been divorced. It's no different.
I agree with you. I said that I agree totally with you, Veronica. And Mr. Sammy.
Mr. Sammy's asking the question. Are you okay with women that have kids and never been married?
Victor? I'm cool with it. Victor?
I got it.
Okay. Do I want to be in a relationship where I got a raise? Me and the DJ, we put out a question on the radio Sunday in New York about that, because this DJ said that she has children under 15 and she don't want to date somebody with children. And I was like, what? You got children. You understand what I'm saying? That's our preference. So the question is, I don't want to raise nobody else's children. I raise my children. So if you got children, they better be grown because I ain't trying to raise nobody else's children.
I'm a little shocked. I'm a little shocked. I don't even know what to say. I guess because I've been down this road. Like I said, when I read this letter, I was like, I know that feeling, thinking that way. You know,
I can go through.
It's not fair because it's not like it was two people in that marriage. Two people make your own choices.
I go down my phone contact list. I probably got, I don't know, 500-600 people in my phone contact list. And there's probably 2 men in there who agree with both of y'all. The rest of them would.
And that's fine.
And the thing is that but you got to understand, like, men won't talk to women about that.
I don't care. Either way you look at it, whether she been married or not, somebody done been in that tail.
Read Cheryl's comment. Read Cheryl's comment.
I get why. I totally get why you don't understand it.
I don't, and it's pissing me off because it's like you're judging me for something that didn't work. I'm not going to say that it was out of my control because I fought for my marriage.
Understand this. I'm not judging you because we're not on that level.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
However,
for all the women out there, I'm speaking for the women that's
okay. Well, the thing is, and I'm not trying to tiptoe around the comment. I don't get in when people marriage don't work. That is none of my business. But when I would go out there, if a woman told me that she was married before, that was it. That was it.
But if she's out there, but she's not a virgin. She's not a virgin at all. Not a virgin.
You cannot change my mind. So no matter how you put it, I'm not.
No, we're not trying to. I'm just trying to make sense with it. I got texts coming through, and they're like, it makes no sense.
No, it makes no sense, Victor.
I'm saying in the show, I'm not for everybody.
But we got that. But what's the logic behind it,
dude? I will answer your fucking question if you chill. All right, I'm not for everybody. My mode of thinking does not coincide with everybody's mode of thinking. It's okay. There are people, when y'all say shit, I sit back and think like you and Queen was on this tangent last week, and I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? I didn't get what you were saying, but it's okay.
But I asked him the question because if I don't get something, I ask, what is the logic? So what's your logic if a woman had kids and never been married, and then a woman that's been married, but you could get with the woman that has had kids but never been married? That's what
the question is. So basically, what you're saying is a woman with kids and a woman's been married is the same thing.
That's not what I'm asking the question to you. What's the difference would you marry the woman that had kids but never said I do versus a woman that said I do, don't have kids? What's the logic behind?
There's no, bro. I just said I don't want to be with nobody who I used to not want to be with nobody who was divorced. That's the damn logic. I chose that. That's the logic. Okay. I don't need no mode of thinking about. That's the logic. Okay, that's it.
I mean, you came to that conclusion on something. I don't want to date.
Well, I can't say that.
Victor, I don't care what you say right now. You came to that conclusion for something. I'm just asking you, how did you come to that conclusion? That's what I'm asking. What's your logic behind making that decision? That's all I'm asking. What's your logic behind it?
Why did I put on this shirt? Because it was fucking clean. Bro, okay. I chose that, and that's it.
Okay. So you made up something for yourself. That's who you are.
Oh, you could have missed that.
Wait a minute.
But you brought the gospel in earlier. You brought the gospel in earlier. Now you say I chose that.
Don't try to down what I chose as I just fucking chose it. I just told you That was my logic. Now, whether you understand it or not, that ain't for you to understand. So let's just get that into an agreement. That the little slide shit, it's uncalled for. All I
No,
said
I'm not. I'm just saying you chose it. No, I'm not being side. I'm just saying you came to a conclusion on it. Unless you just want to say, listen, I came to my conclusion on it. I made my own logic. That's all I'm saying. You came to that conclusion.
That's
not what I said. No, you said I chose that.
I chose
just like and you gave an example. I put the shirt on because it was clean.
And came to a conclusion is the same thing.
Okay.
I chose that. Now, I don't owe nobody on this show a fucking explanation on why I chose that.
You sure
but I
don't.
did choose it.
Oh, that's you don't, but since
I don't, it's no but. No. I don't.
I'm not saying I'm not going there. I got that. I got that. But again, that's you. But we up here giving our opinion on it, and we talking about other people. I just asked you a question. What was your logic? I think that's a fair question. You don't want to answer it. That's cool. That's cool. But don't say side stuff, because I ain't throwing shade at you. I just said, what was your logic? Because you don't think like everybody else. So what was your logic? That was a question. That's it. You don't want to answer. It's cool.
And I chose it.
Okay, but don't say side stuff, because I'm not throwing shade at you. I'm just asking, how did you get to that? That's all.
I chose it.
Got it.
Well, that's good that you let them know up front. Well, used to.
Used to.
Yeah. I mean, we all grow up. We say things, and then we grow up. Because I'm telling you, I was the one that was like, I don't want to date anybody with kids. I don't want to date. I grew out of that. I was young. I was in my 20s.
Or the pickings got slim.
Or your lifestyle changed, and now you have a child. And you see what I'm saying? That's why I asked those questions. Better. Right.
I've dated after me and my children's mother broke up, I would only date women that didn't have any children, because I didn't want to raise nobody else's child. Because the women who I was dating, they either had was seeing they had little kids, and I just didn't want to be around that. So I think I started dating women that didn't have any kids.
And I respect.
There's a lot of them out there.
And I respect that. And like I said, I don't want to make a commitment to a woman that has little kids. I raise my kids, and I don't want to raise other kids. I don't have problems with my grands or whatever. I don't have grands, but I can explain that. I agree with you, Victor. That's your choice.
Okay, let me get to some comments right quick, because these comments are coming through fast. I'm trying to catch them. Let me see what Bria is saying. That's with anything and anyone. So I don't know if Bria, is she commenting behind something?
You gotta read it. I don't know.
So many people get judged for something or another. I know people that be side-eyeing men and women if they haven't been married or had kids and they over the age of 35. If you choosing to have a whole phase, then you do you, boo. But be careful with you and yours. Exactly. Jason says the reason I think it's different, and I think Jason is answering when I said what's the difference between someone that been married before and someone that has kids. He says the reason I think it's different if a female had kids, that's only proof that you shared your body. If you were married, you committed your entire life to a person. I'm not judging either one, but I definitely don't put them in the same category, because if you marry somebody, you literally plan the rest of your life with a person. Well, don't you do that in a relationship though? Don't you plan and hope to be with that person for a long time? If you really, really want, if you love that person and you're in a relationship, you are wanting to spend your life with them. Before you even talking about putting a ring on it or whatever, you still hoping that this relationship works, and you hoping that this is the one. You hoping that, well, I can speak for, I don't know how you men think, but from a woman's standpoint, when we get in a relationship, we're hoping that this is the one. We're hoping that this is the person that will, and the rest, the ones that's faithful to their relationships I'm speaking of. We're hoping that this is the one. We're hoping that, we don't have to start over again. We're hoping that we're going to spend the rest of the life with the person. So
I appreciate what you just said, and I appreciate what Jason said. And the reason why I appreciate what Jason said, because he put it in a context of, again, not his opinion, but he put it in a context and the contrast between that, because it was brought up, but it wasn't explained why. And I appreciate Jason explaining that. Not to say everybody goes by that, but that's a great way of explaining it, and from his perspective. And it puts the contrast in the sense of the difference between someone in a relationship versus, or having kids, versus somebody making a commitment by saying, I'm marrying them. And I think that was a great way of explaining that, because I've been asking for that so we could put that out there for our folks tonight.
Mr. Sammy says, I have no problem dating women that was divorced. That's when you're grown. You ain't judging people from their past. I mean,
You got to be careful. That's open. That's open. You know, you be grown, but people past that ain't always good, that you don't want to deal with that past.
We're talking about marriage. I'm not talking about other things that went on in the past. We were specifically talking about this letter, and she's talking about her being divorced. So that's what I'm focused on. I ain't talking about somebody
that's her opinion. She's entitled to judge people whether they feel like they're grown or not.
Mm-hmm.
But that is what's wrong with this world. We so busy judging people and in other people's business and what they had going on in their past or what they have going on right now. Focus on your own damn self. Excuse me, Pastor, but focus on yourself and stop worrying about what somebody else went through, been through, going through. This life would be so much better if we stay out of other people's business.
Then we wouldn't have to tangy tea then.
Well, we just wouldn't have the tea.
Huh?
Everybody there, that caused more conversation of being in people's lives than anything.
That's true.
Crap talk, bull crap is interesting to a lot of people, you know. So, because I hear people say, "Oh, I don't talk politics. I don't talk that," because you can't talk politics. It's not. I choose not to talk politics because you don't get into it. That's your choice. But at the end of the day, you know, I just watch what life is and I see what generates more buzz. That's why I get upset when it's critical issues out here and it's very quiet on social media. But when crap is out there, social media blows up.
Yeah. Hey, Carol. She says, I agree with Victor. We all have choices and beliefs. Victor just explained why. And I said that earlier, we all do have choices and we make choices. Some of our choices are not good. Some of them are good. And some of our choices are, and some of our choices are good.
I think what Victor did tonight, and it's, you know, and it's good. And as a man, Victor's basically said, I made a choice.
It's 9:30.
And I made a choice. I made a choice, and that's it. And that's it. And I ain't really got to explain it to nobody. And that's true. He's right. I don't. Even though I pushed a little bit, bottom line, I ain't got to explain nothing. That's how I made it. It's my decision, and that's my bottom line. And that's good. I'm glad that came out. And sometimes that's what this is about. I don't take it personal. You push, but then you realize that. And then I think, my father wasn't good. You ain't gonna push my father make a decision. He ain't gonna explain. I have to explain every damn thing to you. Shit. Hell no.
Now this is a good one, because even if you get engaged with somebody, you planning. So Tim says, are we holding the same standards to people that was engaged? Because that's 90% of us.
What did I just say?
I ain't getting in that one.
That's planning, and that goes back to the comment that Jason made.
We just said married and with kids. If you're engaged, are you married?
No, but you're planning.
But if you're engaged, are you married?
You're planning.
If you are engaged, are you married?
You're planning, and that's just
thank you. No, they're not.
Jason was saying hoping and planning is two different things. Okay, but you're planning when you get engaged. You're planning to get married, right? Am I right or wrong?
You're planning, but it's not married.
But you're planning.
But if I'm outside, technically I'm in space. Come on, man.
Well, that could be. That could be.
We are in space. Where the hell we are? We in space. Shit. This is space. Earth is in space.
Yeah, Mr. Sammy, yes, we are all grown.
I don't want to be with a woman who had a lesbian experience before.
Well,
Oh
you
God!
well,
Well,
listen.
good luck, brother.
Hell, no, trust me, there's plenty of them out there that
I know. I just wanted to joking because I don't need
it
them in
ain't
the
many.
comments.
It's plenty, but it ain't many.
Put it like this: the women
Yes,
that
he
had
would, Tanya. Him, Fatine would too.
what? Fatine would what? Tanya, wouldn't you
She
date
said,
someone that has been with someone over 5 years, but they broke up?
"What?
Yeah.
What's the third word?" She said. The third word is what?
Date.
Yes.
Yeah. What's the is there a point to that, Tanya?
Yes, I would date someone.
Yeah, what's the point? Okay.
Because he's saying that he wouldn't date someone that been divorced, but he
That's
would date
Victor.
someone that been in
I
a
didn't-
5-year
I
relationship.
said I wouldn't marry.
Marry. He said marry. He didn't say date. He said marry.
Fatine,
Yeah.
be quiet. Because
What
after
did we do while we're getting this
after 9:30, you flips. If y'all
Oh.
notice, Fatine will flip at 9:30.
I'm saying what Victor said. Victor said he wouldn't marry.
Side in a minute.
I never said on here I wouldn't marry somebody that wasn't divorced. I ain't never said that. So don't put me in that
I
category.
said marry. I didn't say date.
He said that.
How would I know what?
You said
How would I know what?
what? Final
Because
thought.
It's only 9:35.
Because
Well,
y'all
you trying to
pissing
go to
me
bed
off.
early.
How would I know what?
I'm gonna go cook.
We
For team
don't
funny.
have common law anymore, Tanya.
You say what?
Tim said for team is funny. What? We don't have common law anymore, Tanya.
Yeah, common law is pretty much going out the window in most
If
states.
they had same-sex relationship is what Carol is talking about.
Oh. So let me tell you something. That's funny.
Oh my gosh.
So I'll say this. I ain't gonna put nobody business out there, but
Please
let me say this. Until you've seen it, then it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm real funny about shit like that. Like, I don't know. I don't think that's just like, would you want to be with a man who done let another man run up in him before?
Well, that's just like you.
Yeah, would you want to be with a man that let another man run up in him? Or so and I've understood, it took me a while to understand this. When it comes to pleasing a woman, we can't. We can, but we can't. We can, but we can't. There's until you've seen it, like
What are we struggling with?
Yeah, what are you struggling with, Vic? Say it. Damn it, this is a grown show. Shit. Say it. What you mean? Until you see it. See what?
When you got two women together,
right?
Don't get. Yeah, we know what you're saying.
You can't, bro. You can't.
You can't please her the way a woman can please another woman.
Well, it's not that. It's
chemistry.
It's different. It's just different.
Of course, it's different. I know what you're saying.
He knows all about it.
Huh?
As for Teen, he knows all about it.
So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't compete with that.
I understand.
Because that's like the forbidden fruit type shit. So, if I know that, it's like, eventually, I feel like she gonna circle the block again. And that's just like cheating. Some dudes don't consider that cheating.
Good point. I mean, I was waiting for you to say it, but
what's that?
What you just said. That it's interesting that when you compare it, some women that have been pleased by another woman, it can be a different level than a man trying to please a woman. And some women will tell you that what I've gotten from a woman's pleasure on that level is something that another woman can't give them from what a man. So I do understand what you're saying, but you're right. Until you really, and even to some women that, see, again, we're talking things. I haven't had no homosexual experience, but you know, you have to hear from lesbians to hear what you're saying. But I do understand because I've heard other women or lesbians say this. So that's why I agree. Yeah,
you got to see it.
It's a mother. It's It's interesting. It's interesting.
It's different.
It's interesting. Well, it got quiet. We put the crickets in there.
Yep. Oh, Tanya, I understand what you be saying. Tanya's saying, I'm sorry, every time I comment, y'all bite my head off. I need to be on there so I can talk to you, y'all, then y'all can
What
understand.
are we
Come
saying
on.
now?
Come on, girl. Come on.
Please put Patricia's comment up there.
Where's she at?
Third from the bottom.
This one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Victor, don't waste that woman's time dating her because she may be seeking long term.
Well, what makes you think she ain't wasting my time?
Because you are the one that have all these rules and qualifications.
And she don't. If you go into a relationship with no rules and qualifications, then you shouldn't even be out there. You got to have something to stand on. That's crazy. So you're just a woman that has no rules of understanding allows herself to be dumped and then called back 4 months later, and he knocked the bottom out that thing and leave. That's exactly what that sounds like to me.
Well, final thoughts?
On this letter, real simple, sis. Be who you are. Don't hide being a divorcee because we don't know what happened in that situation, you know. But don't be a fool for somebody else that comes, knocks on your door, you open up your legs, then they disappear, and you giving in because you feel that nobody's going to pick you because you're a divorcee. You putting yourself down. Hold your head up, sis. There's a lot of people. If you're a good woman, there's a lot of good people out there looking for a good woman, divorce or not.
I don't understand why you would hold on for 4-5 months to tell somebody you was divorced. I mean, that should have been conversation. I don't see how he didn't ask you that to start with. I still don't understand that. My man was looking for an out. You gave him one. He come tiptoeing back. You let him come back, and he gonna keep doing it till you tell him to stop. So, I mean, you know, by writing this letter, all the wrong, I shouldn't say wrong. You know in this letter all the red flags and all the red lights that got ran. Ma'am, find you somebody who respects you and wants you for you, no matter what.
Well, my final thoughts. I agree with both Fatine and Victor. But I do want to say this, my sister, because like I said, I've been there. Do not let that stop you from being who you are just because one marriage didn't work. Don't let that stop your happiness from living your life. Don't let that stop you from being happy because just because one man don't want you because you've been divorced before doesn't mean that another one won't, and a good one. Okay. Evidently he's not the one for you. So don't sweat it. Like I said earlier, let them kick rocks. Get out of here. Who cares? Move on. It's what was 4 months you said that you all been talking. But my thing is you should have told him at the beginning. You shouldn't have let 4 or 5 months, however months it was, go by without letting him know that you've been married before, because I do feel like that's important to let someone know that way they can make that decision if they want to carry on or they want to leave. So yes, you should have came out and let them know that up front, and maybe you wouldn't be in the situation that you are now, because he probably would have been gone from the beginning, you know. But don't let that stop you. Get that out your head that no one is going to want you just because you've been married before. There's a lot of men, a lot of good men out there, like I said, that would want to talk to you even though your past happened. All right. So you got to stop judging people, man. That's the thing. You got to, and I say this a lot. That's a lot of us. We let good people go. A lot of people, um, that come to us or try to talk to us, or sometimes you let your blessings go by. And I just wish her the best. Hold your head up, sis, and just keep going. Keep doing you. Love on you, and that right person will come your way. Thank y'all so much for watching the Tea Tonight. We appreciate y'all so much. I know a lot of comments been coming in, and we've been missing it. I think Mr. Sammy has a final thought. Of course, John has a final thought. Mr. Sammy says final thought: be honest and upfront. Let him make the decision to be with you or not. Exactly. Be upfront. Communication is key, folks. Communication is key. John says final thoughts. Ladies, hold them spare keys to your house tight.
Them homeless Negroes slinging good Peterburg this time of the season, trying to move in.
Oh boy. All right. All right. So thank y'all so much for watching the Tea Tonight. Tangy Tea of Life is being brought to you by Hip Hop Fitness with Veronica each and every Wednesday night, 7 p.m., Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Thank y'all so much. $5 a class. Come out. I'm all over the place. My mind is just everywhere. But Monday nights is my senior class at the Pine Recreational Center. We have so much fun with the seniors. This is a low impact workout. That class is $5 as well. Once again, thank y'all so much. We enjoy y'all tonight. We'll be going back through the comments, of course. This Saturday at the Fat Man Cave, they're having the first annual live music festival. Is the homecoming edition. They're going to have the True Soul band will be live out there, and that location is 527 Georgetown Road. I will be hosting the show. It's going to be great. So come on out. I don't think Mike Mills is on here tonight, but yeah, I'll probably post it. I'll post the flyer to my page. But anywho, any thing else you guys want to say? Y'all good? All hearts are clear.
Mm-hmm.
Minds are clear. It's gonna be so interesting backstage, guys. Have a great night. Have a fantastic weekend, and God willing, we will talk to you all next Tuesday. Good night.
Buenas noches.